drinker.
Let's drink!
I need you guys to be amazing tonight, so start drinking now.
All right, this is when we usually turn it over to libations, and the show gets a little turned up at that point in time. It starts popping, but we're going to continue on because, again, this is really cool. It's coming up this next Friday, and it's the 27th, and you're going to want to mark your calendars because here it is. You heard her voice, Joan Brewster, head of the Colorado ACF division, and American Certified Master Chef's reception. It's at the Broadmoor, and again, come on down and join us. You're just going to get 30 master chefs and others again, putting together some of the most delicious plates that you possibly could want.
And there's still tickets. It's a crazy thing, but there's still a few tickets left. And for the price, Greg, I mean, $75, right? And it's a little bit of tax and a little bit of this, like everything else in the world. So it'll bring you close to 90. But for that price, where it's at and the quality of food and the chefs that are there, if you're somebody that is into that sort of thing, then you have to do this.
Right. And, we tried to price a beer festival at $75. We came to our
And there are beer festivals that are more than that. That's
right. Let's do this. Our time is limited with him, and I think this is really cool. Is standing by. He's in the wings. We'll go in the 7:15 break to Denver Museum of Nature and Science executive chef Patrick Harnett. He'll be down there as well. But right now, let's go to Cook's Fresh Market and Master Chef Ed Janos. Welcome to the Modern Eater Show.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
It's so neat to have you here. I mean, first of all, Master Chef, congratulations. How'd you do it? How do you become a master chef?
Well, you take a test. And you're judged by a panel of your peers. And when I took it in 92, I believe, it was a 10-day exam. They've now reduced it to 8 days. But you're tested in all disciples of cooking, from American cooking, French classical, pastries, baking, garde manger, charcuterie. And that was only the first 9 days. And then the last day is a double back-to-back mystery basket where you're judged on your style of cooking. And I just took the test. I never expected a pass, to be honest with you, and I just did it. I felt I was a good cook, and I just wanted to see where I stacked up with the best. And I took the test, and I just happened to pass. So.
You must have lost it, right? When did you pass? How long ago?
Well, it was 92, I believe I passed.
Yeah. How many master chefs at that time in 92?
Well, back then, I think it was 68, 65. And I don't know if it's... I know that they just held a test for the first time outside of New York in Michigan at Schoolcraft College just a couple weeks ago. And I believe 3 or possibly 4 passed the exam. So we have 4 new gentlemen. They're all men that in the fraternity now.
I think I read somewhere along the way, maybe crazy, but at the time, you were one of the youngest to pass the test. Is that right?
At the time, I was one of the youngest, yes. And back in the time, I was in fine dining, and I was... in the restaurant scene in the Detroit, Michigan area. And I had a mentor that was he was in that first graduating class of to take the test. And so it was always he was an inspiration to me. And it was...
I was going to ask you your inspiration. Do you mind saying the gentleman's name?
Milo Shahelka.
Okay. And still with us?
He still is, yes.
Cool. You keep in contact?
Yes, I do, yeah.
It's almost one of those things where it's like you needed to get your master chef, right? Because here your mentor,
right.
It's like, I need to, now it's like, here it is, teacher and the student. Now student become teacher. Kind of really cool thing, right?
Yeah.
So, chef, I can throw, Jay, you're a chef.
Thank you very much.
It's as weird, you don't have to go through really formal training to become a chef. Am I wrong?
You don't have to go through formal training, no.
Master chef, quite the opposite. What a dichotomy right there.
Yeah.
So to be called a master chef,
Certified master chef.
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Do you hang your hat on that, or are you constantly trying to reinvent yourself?
Well, I'm at a different point in my life now. When I was younger, when I first passed, I was heavy in the restaurant scene, fine dining, and I did a lot of competitions, international competitions, and I was first runner-up at the Bocuse d'Or, American, and I and I went over to France and to that prestigious hot food competition there, and now. Cook Special Market. My wife, Kristen, she pretty much runs a show there, and I have
1600 Glenarm Street.
That's correct. Right downtown, right across from Hard Rock Cafe. And
you're saying, okay, in my life, big deal, kind of a different point in time in my life, and really, you probably. If you just got it today and you were one of these young guys running around like you were in, 92?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
You'd probably go out there and do all kinds of crazy stuff because it's like rock star status right now, right? So it was probably good to be anointed that certified master chef at that period of time in your life.
Yeah, you're right.
In my estimation.
Yeah.
With that being said, here it is. And I don't think you're going to say certified master chef, but what you hold up as one of your most prideful accomplishments ever for yourself.
In cooking?
Yeah. Or beyond.
In cooking, winning the first runner-up in the Bocuse d'Or in the United States, and winning the highest award in an international competition in South Africa, and now I have the best one. When 2 months before the competition, a couple instructors from Johnson & Wales called me and asked me to captain a international culinary team to compete in Seoul, Korea, South Korea. And in 2 months, we practiced. My wife was on the team. It was all Denver chefs. And we went over, we competed against teams that had been together for 2 years. And we had 2 months practice, and we went over and we placed second in the world. And that was really, that was a great feeling. And passing the Certified Master Chef exam, Bocuse d'Or, that probably the best in my career.
This coming Friday, what are you most excited about? What's going to happen? What are you doing?
Well,
are you cooking? Are you cooking?
I am not cooking.
Okay.
And the only CMC that'll be cooking will be John from the Broadmoor. But what a great
Seems
venue.
fitting, right?
Pardon?
Seems fitting.
Yes.
That John would be cooking.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, it would be.
There you go.
Jay Parker here. I'm just for a second, I would think he'd be the one that goes like, how can I not get out of this thing? Because I'm here, now I have to cook. He's like, everybody else gets to be cooked for. Now I'm stuck cooking. All right, it's my spot. I guess I'll do it.
It's the 4th annual. It's been years past at the governor's mansion, and there they go. They've got new digs, and it's down at the Broadmoor. I'm looking forward to this. How many of these dinners have you been to?
This will be the 4th one.
All of them.
They've all been here in Colorado, and this is the brainchild of Bill Franklin. Bill's a local CMC, and he.
Are you all on a group text?
No.
No. It's like CMC,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, did you hear about Carl? Nobody. I don't care what your dog's doing. Stop texting me pictures of your dog, Carl. Come on.
That's right. Close knit group.
It is, and that's what's so great about these about this get together is I get to see guys that I haven't seen in years.
Yeah.
I get to meet CMCs that I have not met in the past, and the new guys that are coming in too. So it's a great
new energy infused.
Yeah, it's just a great, and we're talking old times. So we're talking cooking, we're talking recipes, we're talking food.
Do chefs call each other chefs?
I do. I like to. I think
sign of respect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Did you ask this, Greg J. Parker, again, and forgive me if I missed it, but how often does the certification come around, right? So if I'm a chef and I say, hey, listen, I want to be a CMC, like that's my thing, do you apply? Is it once a year? How does that work?
Well, they're supposed to hold the test once a year, but they don't always do that because not always enough applicants, and they have to have a minimum of 6 to hold the test. And it's an application process, and you have to be certified executive chef first, and then you have to have recommendations from other certified master chefs that you are ready to take the test.
So they don't theoretically waste their time. I mean, they button it up pretty tight to say, hey, listen, like this is kind of a serious, I mean, that's why there's only 68. You know, it's like this is a serious
8
thing.
8 days? 7 days now?
Well, it's 8 days now. It was 10 days when I took it.
Yeah. You feel slighted? No. It's like, hey, that's how I grew up. My mom wanted me to suffer as much as she did her whole life. But listen, so I pictured just chefs being sequestered for 8 days and their phones taken from there, no internet access, and you're just in a hot kitchen. And first of all, can you take dehydration and heat? And it's pretty rigorous, or am I painting just the opposite picture of what it is?
Well, they do make it larger than life, and there's they ramp up the pressure. The heat's not. It's pretty temperature controlled kitchen, at least when I took it. But the pressure and the hours, I often had 15, 16-hour days. Then you have to go to your hotel room and prepare for the next day. And
don't let the Food Network get a hold of that test and have Gordon Ramsay host that thing, because it'd just be, well, you can imagine what it would be at that point.
Yeah.
Really cool to see you and have you come into the show. It's just the ultimate, it's so flattering for you to do that. And you're going, I'm one of the guys, and here it is. Your restaurant, Cook's Fresh Market.
Yeah.
Talk about it for a moment.
Well, it's when I moved out here about 20 years ago from Michigan. I was kind of shocked by the restaurant scene back then, and where I came from was a lot of small independent, and I partially owned some restaurants in Michigan. And when it came out here, I didn't.
You own the good part?
I own the good part.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
that's good.
And I didn't really understand the restaurant scene, but we saw a real need for a gourmet market. And so it was something my wife and I were able to do on our own with the SBA loan. We didn't need to have 20 investors. And we opened up the original Cook's Fresh Market on just not too far from here on Bellevue and Ulster. And we had a fantastic business, a great, it was truly a gourmet market. We were flying in truffles and wild mushrooms and fish from both coasts.
That's what it's all about.
And it was, sourcing. And we, cooking classes, and people were coming in, and they were, I was telling them how to do, how to fold the paper for in papilotte, cooking fish, and you name it. And it was exciting and fun. And our second location, downtown Denver, became our only location. We the center right over there was sold, and we couldn't renew our lease. And the Cook's Fresh Market is morphed now away from the market. We don't have meat and fish, but we're a gourmet deli now. And you have a lot of cool products. We're focusing in on all Colorado products, and just make a good sandwich, do a lot of catering. And
I could live off sandwiches.
Yeah.
Completely. It changes. It could vary so many ways, that sandwich.
And, a lot of catering, and we're tuned into that downtown Denver clientele.
Go visit Master Chef Ed Janos at 1600 Glenarm Street.
I mean, before he goes, Greg, we have to ask for the liner. We have to do it.
Sure. We think he'll do it.
I hope so. I'm putting him on the spot, so you'd think
You ask him. I'm
Chef,
afraid.
would you heard Justin Brunson do his liner for the show? Would you be gracious enough to do the same thing and just say that this is Ed Janos, Master Chef from Cook's Fresh Kitchen? You're listening to the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
If I can remember all those words,
Listen,
I will.
the power of editing, man. Wait, just chunks at a time. That's how we do it. We're a couple of, it takes it. So, Master Chef Ed Janos, Cook's Fresh Market. You're listening to the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Hi, this is.
You'll share a little drink with us on this festive day.
It's the Modern Drinker Show.
Comfort is something we all want to feel. No one knows this better than Serta, America's #1 mattress manufacturer. Discover Serta's all-new mattress collections. Experience our latest iComfort memory foam sleep system that helps comfortably cool and support every curve of your body. Or put your sleep problems to rest with the newly redesigned Perfect Sleeper. Offers good at participating retailers. Find a local retailer at sertaretailers.com. Experience Serta Comfort today at Boulder Furniture and Mattress in Boulder or at Clore Brothers Furniture in Cheyenne.
Whether you're running, biking, or even sleeping, the equipment you use matters. Beauty Rest is equipment for high-performance sleep.